Hey everybody, I'm Natalie Bencivenga, host of 5 Minutes With, and this week I have the honor and privilege of interviewing Carey Harris. She is the CEO of Literacy Pittsburgh. It's so nice to have you here with me, Carey.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I am too, and I'm really excited because I want people to learn more about this amazing organization. So can you share a little bit about Literacy Pittsburgh and your role in the community?
Sure. So, Literacy Pittsburgh is an adult basic education provider. We serve all of Allegheny and Beaver County. We like to say that we are here for those who have been left behind, those who have just arrived, and those who never, ever, ever give up on the American dream. So, what that means is we support American born adults that need a high school diploma,
Mhm.
or they have a high school diploma but are looking to go to college or job training and they need some brush up. We teach English language to immigrants, reading, writing, speaking. We teach citizenship classes, and we do some work with families and children with early literacy.
That's awesome and such a vital step along anyone's journey. And can you talk a little bit? I heard you say the words American dream. So, with the people that you work with, what does that mean to them, the American dream?
Yeah, it's so inspiring. Like I feel like so humbled every day to get to support. I call like our never give upper students, right? So I think the American dream is like all of us, right? They want a family. They want to support their children. They want their children to have a better life than they do. So they want to, clear the pathway for their kids. Whether they're American born or immigrant students, everybody wants the same thing. They want to own a house. They want to vote. They want to have a driver's license. They want to take care of their health. They want to contribute to the community. And they want, meaningful work. They want to be able to support themselves and their family.
So, when we're talking about the idea of meaningful work as it relates to the pandemic, as it relates to everything that's been going on the past couple of years, how has that impacted the people that are working with Literacy Pittsburgh, who are often, I think, like you were saying, sort of ignored or invisible workers or low wage workers?
Right. Right. So, yes, if you think about Natalie, who we serve, they
Mhm.
tend to be in the low wage workforce, right? So they would have a high school diploma or less usually. And so they're, you get relegated to a certain kind of work here. It's a lot of hospitality, which is not bad work, but it can be low wage work, a lot of retail work, a lot of service work. And what we have seen happen in the last year, we had unprecedented, historically low unemployment, and then we had whiplash to historically high unemployment that has specifically hit this part of the workforce the hardest. I think I just checked before we got on. 17.5% decrease in low wage jobs in Allegheny County um, since April. At
That's
one point, it was down 35%. We picked
wow.
up some of those jobs, but it has been trending downward again. So these are our people. And part of what it has meant for us is helping them stage. We say we're helping them stage their post-COVID comeback, right? What is that going to look like for you, right? Let's take advantage of this lemon and make it lemonade and figure out how we can help you get the skills you need, the credentials that you need or want in order to do better on the other end of this. So we've designed a few new programs with that in mind.
Mhm.
Um, One of them, I'll talk about it, and if you need me to speed it up, tell me. One of them is working with the Builders Guild of Western Pennsylvania, helping people get into a pre-apprenticeship program
Mhm.
there. And if we're launching a new program that if you want to get a pre-apprenticeship and your GED, well, we can help you do that together. At the end of that pre-apprenticeship program, you're ready for the apprenticeship test.
Mhm.
And if you complete it successfully, you have a job, and it's a good job. It's a career.
Mhm.
These are really good jobs. We're doing some work with health systems, training their incumbent employees. We've done an immigrant healthcare program, helping immigrant neighbors figure out the various roles available in healthcare in this country, and then how to get themselves into those kind of jobs and job training programs. And we've invested in digital literacy as well, recognizing before the pandemic that digital literacy was increasingly becoming an important part of being a successful and literate adult.
Mhm.
We recognized it before, but wow, has the pandemic really surfaced the need for that now. So we've been investing in increasing the digital literacy of our own staff and of the students we work with. So to help them navigate this brave new world online.
Yeah, and that all sounds incredible. And speaking of this brave new world, I know a lot of the work that you do helps people obtain or get close to obtaining their citizenship. And I know with the last administration, things were becoming more and more challenging in terms of being able to do so. What had you seen that had changed for the better or for the worse? And how do you think it's going to be moving forward now that the Biden administration is in place?
So, right, we saw it become much more difficult to be an immigrant
Mm.
in the last few years, very much intentionally so. Um, there was increase to citizenship fees for applying for various forms of citizenship. In some cases, these fees increased by like 85%.
Wow.
So it's bad enough if you're one person, but if you're bringing a family, it becomes exorbitant and puts it out of reach. Um, that was one change we saw happen over the last few years. The other change was this public charge rule, which is sort of a screener for people that want to enter the citizenship process. Um, the screener got much more rigid, let's say, and onerous, so that if there was any chance you were ever going to need any sort of benefit,
Mm.
public benefit in this country, it sort of screened you out of the citizenship process.
Mm.
And then the most recent change came to the citizenship test itself. And right in December, the citizenship test became much more difficult. It has more questions. The questions are confusing, and the language level to access the questions has become more difficult.
Mm.
So I mean, and I could go on, and I think immigration experts could go on even further. It has been difficult. Um, so we are hopeful that the next 4 years, maybe we can roll back some of those changes and go back to being a country that welcomed newcomers, right? And recognized that our aspirations are tied together, right? If we are all thriving and doing better when our neighbor does better as well.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And as we wrap up this 5 minutes, and I could talk to you, I think, at length on this topic, and you've just provided so much important information. What are your hopes, not only for this incoming administration on a national level as it pertains to immigration and acquiring citizenship, but for the people that you serve with the organization? What are your hopes for them too?
Oh, my hope is that they really do have a comeback
Mhm.
post COVID, or even at this tail end of COVID, and that this recovery that our region undergoes is an inclusive one,
Mhm.
right? That it's one that everybody participates in, and everybody is better off on the other end of it. Um, so it is my hope that we can be a real big part of that in the lives of the thousands of people we serve every year, that they and their children will be better off and positioned for good jobs, uh, and contributing to their communities.
Wonderful. Well, Carrie, I appreciate you so much for spending 5 minutes with me and sharing the wonderful work of Literacy Pittsburgh. Thank you so much.
Thank you.